And welcome back to Nancy's Neighborhood, folks. And I'm always glad to have Andrew Hunt from the Cleveland Bradley Library, and because I want him on every month because there's things going on all the time at the library. And if he's not on here to tell you about it, then he sends somebody else. And Chrissa Storehouse?
Shorthouse.
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 I knew it started with an S. Shorthouse, Chrissa Shorthouse, and she's in charge of volunteers and adult programming. Yes, okay, so, hey, I wasn't half bad on that. So, but I wanted to start off by asking Andrew, they've switched over to a new computer system, and I know you were closed a couple of days in October to get this up and going, so how's it going?
It really has gone rather smoothly. I mean, there's still things we're finding out, and we said, how do we do this? And sometimes we have to call to find out information, or we have to, sometimes it's learning how to set up a report and things like that. But overall, and it's gone rather smoothly. I think the staff like it, that are dealing with it on a daily basis. And I think the patrons have enjoyed it. You know, we've heard some positive comments, and I think there's some nice features that we've gained without having to pay tons extra for.
That is great.
You know, so we have a budget we have to sort of work in with this.
Oh, really?
And you can spend a lot more than what we're having to spend. I mean, but you have to have that money.
I understand. I do understand. And you all are dependent on the city and the county and grants.
Right.
And so you have to budget.
But I like the look and the feel of it. It looks
That's
really
great.
nice. I think we get a lot of bang for our buck. So
That is
I
great.
agree
That
with
is great.
And I mean, what little learning curve there is, especially for the patrons, because there's a little bit of a learning curve. But you know, once you get them over it, you do have to help them with that. But once you get them over it, they tend to adjust better. They just don't want to be left on their own. And I think our staff does a really good job of helping them with that.
That's great.
When asked.
And people my age, when you say computer, we go, nah. And so I'm quite sure that a lot of your library patrons are my age, older, or maybe just a little younger, and they're going, nah. But I know there are people my age who are extremely computer literate. I'm not. And I don't intend to become. I'm just perfectly happy just kind
you
of.
can always come to the library and take a computer class with Rob. So.
I know, and Rob is real sincere in what he does, and I'm not sure that he wants me as a pupil because I'm not really sure that I'm as sincere as he is. But, okay, tell us about volunteers. You coordinate the volunteers.
Sure. I do. So there are basically two sides of volunteering. There's the day-to-day volunteering needs that we have, and those are mostly with circulation and with the children's room, and also with the Friends of the Library Book Nook. Those, we need people, if we can get them, every day to be there helping us, shelving books, organizing books, helping at the help desk, helping patrons, and things like that. That is always what we need, as much as we can get, because it helps us run smoother, and it just makes us better at what we do. The other side of volunteering is the programs. Last week we had Halloween. We had
Oh, gosh, yes.
we had our Kaboom, Mad Science Halloween, and we did end up having one volunteer who came in and helped us, but, we can only do so many things with our staff. One staff can really only do, we had little booths set up, and one staff can really only do one table each.
Right.
And so with volunteers for programming, we can really expand what we're able to do. Like, even if it's just staff, we will offer you a quality experience, a quality time, a quality event. But we can really expand our options and what we can offer when we have volunteers. And that's true a lot for programming, but also for the day-to-day things.
Right.
There's just more that we can get done, especially in the children's room, because with AR, with holidays, we have enormous amounts of children's books that come in that need to be shelved, that need to be organized. That's one of the children's room librarian, Miss Keisha. She sends me her schedule, and she's like, this is when I need people, and I'm like, I'll do the best I can, but we need the volunteers to say, yes, we can come in, we can fill this need.
Okay, so if someone wants to volunteer, what do they do?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing you have to do is you have to fill out a volunteer application. The volunteer application is pretty simple. It's just 2 pages. You put down some basic information, talk about your experience with education, with volunteering, and if you don't have any, that's okay. We are perfectly willing to train someone who doesn't have a whole lot of experience. I accept volunteers as young as 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, there are some things that they cannot do, but there are things that they can do that young. And we've had great volunteers who are as young as 16. We really have. And so there is a place for teens to come and help us. But you fill out the application. You are required to provide a reference. And if you want to work with children, you are required to provide 2 references. That's something that I believe is mandated by the state.
And I'm
It's-
sure that's true, yes.
Yeah. That's not something that we decided, but it is a concern, a safety precaution.
Right.
Because we want parents to have confidence that their kids are safe and they're in a safe environment, because that's what we want the library to be. And so there is a background procedure, and I also do background check, sex offender registry, to make
Yes.
sure that
It's a shame we have to do that, but we do.
it is, but it really is necessary. Also, again, especially if you're going to be working in the children's room.
Right.
But once I have that application in, I contact the references, and as soon as I get in touch with the references, I try and get in touch with the volunteer to set up an interview to figure out what the best spot for them is going to be. If the library is actually where they want to go, there are a couple people I've interviewed, and it's like, this is what we have available. Is this really what you want to do? Because people have ideas about where they can help at the library, and it's like, yes, we need your help, we need volunteers, but it may not be doing what you think it will be. Like, a lot of people, so many people are like, I want to read to kids, I love reading to kids, I want to do it, and it's like, that's wonderful, but we have one position for reading to kids, and you have to be bilingual for it. All of other story times.
And that just shoots it right in the
It
head
really
sometimes.
does. It really does.
Bilingual.
Yeah.
Well,
But
let me,
if someone is out there that is
Yes.
bilingual,
Right.
and we need a volunteer that fills
There you
that
go.
need so we can
Right, right. But
So-
like, all our other story times are covered by staff, and that's not a need that we have. And so we really do have to base it on what our needs are, not necessarily what their perception of our needs
right.
are.
Well, let me ask you this. Sometimes we have teenagers who need service hours because of whatever they're doing. Does volunteering at the library count as service hours?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All
I
right,
have
so
high
that's good to
schoolers.
know.
I have college students.
Okay.
And I do. I am, as long as they show dedication and willingness to learn and to work and to serve, they could come for 8 hours. You know, in the state of Cleveland State, you can come for 8 hours, and that's okay. You can be done.
Okay, and I know they're required to do this if they're on the Tennessee Promise or the Hope Scholarship or all of that. So this is great to know that they can do that. So
Yeah, and we don't hold that against them. I mean, of course, we love when people come and can commit long term, but we have, and I am very glad that we have both long term and short term opportunities available, because, you know, the way I see volunteering is it should be a mutually beneficial relationship. We have
Absolutely.
needs, but the community also has needs, because people serving is actually good for people.
absolutely
It gives
is.
you purpose. It gives you a goal to work towards. It gives you a place to be outside
And
of
it
the
gives
house.
you a good feeling.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
does.
It gives you a really good feeling that you've done something. So I'm thrilled that how long have you been at the library now?
I mean, I've been at the library for 3 or 4 years now. I recently received the position of volunteer coordinator and program director back in May of this year.
Okay, because
But
I
I've
knew
been-
we had one that resigned, moved on
Yes.
Yes.
to a bigger and better, I don't know. But anyway, yes, so you have taken that position.
Yes.
And that is great. That is super. And it's so good to meet you. And so I know now that you do need volunteers.
Always.
And,
Always.
you know, I don't have any spare time where I volunteer.
And let me just say, volunteerism, how many, perspective, it gives you maybe a 2 extra full-time equivalent of 2 full-time people.
Okay.
That can help do a lot of different things at the library. So volunteers are important to the Cleveland Bradley County Public Library. So
And I know you had a couple that used to man your the Fola book where
yeah,
you
and
sell the
she's
books.
still-
The book
And-
nook, yeah,
yeah, the book nook.
We are
And-
still looking for people to do that, because we have some volunteers who are doing that, but they are starting to age out, because
Yes.
it's hard work. It's
Well-
books, sometimes very heavy books, and we are actively looking for people who are willing to commit to helping with that.
And they
that
don't have to
is-
do it every day.
Not every day, but every week. It is
Yeah.
one of our long-term opportunities where we need them to commit, because the training, like when I train people to do things like shelf reading and organizing books, I can usually do that in an hour or so. The Book Nook, you have to, it's a much longer training period, and so we need them to stay for longer
Right.
because
You don't
that
wanna-
payoff needs to be
Right.
equal to the
You don't want to
training
waste
period.
your time training somebody that's going to be there 2 times and not show up again.
Yeah.
And let
So-
me help you know, again, the purpose, the Friends of the Library, the Book Nook, where the money goes to that is it goes right into children's programming.
Yes, it does.
Children's programming and children's books. So it's a very important, element.
Absolutely.
The Friends of the Library give that to us.
Absolutely. So, speaking of Friends of the Library, they had an event coming up, but we need to tell people that it's going to be rescheduled.
The authors event
Hopefully.
that was for November 13th was
Yes.
Okay.
scheduled, but it is postponed at this point.
Okay, it's
And,
gonna
so we'll see
rescheduled
what happens.
to 2020.
Just keep your ears open.
Yes.
We'll try to get the word out.
Yes, because I didn't want anybody that thought they were going to be going, don't show up.
Yeah,
All right,
don't try.
So, we have the month of November, and we're already a week into it.
That's right. Let me just start off with a couple of things.
Yes.
Just and then I'm going to let Krista talk while she's here about the adult programming.
Okay.
And then we'll get into some of the other events,
Okay.
whatever time we have.
I know, I know.
And again, you can always find this at clevelandlibrary.org.
Yes.
www.clevelandlibrary.org. So we are closed Monday, November 11th for Veterans Day.
Absolutely.
So don't come to the library Monday, and you can return books to the library through the book drop. But if you're expecting to come through the door, you're not going to get it. Sorry. But
Gotcha.
but we'll see you Tuesday. So Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th, we will be closed for Thanksgiving Days celebrations.
But you're going to open on Saturday?
We will be open Saturday.
Okay.
So
That's
that way-
nice of you to do that, because, you could have taken that extra day, Andrew.
well.
I know.
We've found that the more days we take off, the more work we have to do when we get back.
Oh,
and
tell
so
me
we
about it.
try
Yes.
to keep our closings as short as possible for staff to have time to spend time with their family and stuff, but also not too long, because the longer we wait to get back, the more books pile up, the more people who are like, I need to do this, like, they freak out. They freak out when we're closed for too long.
I know.
And I get it. It's an important resource that should be available to them as much as possible.
Yeah, when we had Case and Art, it was never worth taking a vacation. Never, ever worth taking a vacation. Twice as much work when you come back. So, all right, so you're not going to be open on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday or Friday, but you will be open on Saturday, and then you'll be closed on Veterans Day.
That's correct.
Okay, so, and then normally the regular things that you have going on, like with the children and all of that, will be going on at the library in November.
Correct.
Okay. So, and everybody knows what those are, and they can
And
go
you- On the
online.
calendar, we've gotten the calendar. At one point, it was sort of messed up, and we're still trying to get migrated to a new website.
Okay.
Because even the link, if you're trying to find out how to get the card catalog link, don't click on anything. At least for our present website that you have, you can't get there by clicking on search the online or catalog link. It won't take you there, and I can't figure out how to change it. So there is a
okay.
a pink box underneath the banner that says "Please note," and that's where you want to
And
click.
thank
There's
you
a
for
link.
your
And
patience.
thank you for your
Because
patience.
Okay.
But
So
that
you want to
has-
click on the pink box.
Well, you want to click on the
link.
the link.
There
I
is a
got you.
hyperlink.
That'll
Okay.
get you to the new online catalog, and there's a training video there.
Oh,
So-
okay. Very good. All right, and you're not going to believe this, but we are really close to out. I know, Andrew, this happens every
Can't
time.
you just tell one or two
Yes,
things?
I wanted to tell. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So just a couple things coming up for adult programming. Yes, we do have adult programs. And so coming up really soon, this Saturday is our monthly craft. We're going to make display bowls out of fall leaves. And then next
Ooh.
Tuesday, we are going to be showing La La Land for our feature film matinee. And that was actually requested by a patron. I do take requests. I try to incorporate as many patron requests as I can into my programming, because what patrons want is really what we need to give them.
Absolutely.
You know, my goal for adult programming is to serve the patrons, to give them what they're looking for in our library. And speaking of that, one of the things I want to institute is actually a program advisory committee, a place where adults can come and say, this is what I want from my library, these are the ideas I have. I want to make that available to them, a time where they can just come and talk to me and say, for an hour, this is what we're looking for. And so that, we're going to have our first meeting of that the third Tuesday this month. And I apologize, but I don't know exactly what day that is, but it is the third
Okay,
Tuesday.
The
what-
19th.
The 19th,
The
and what
19th.
time?
At 5:30.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, you're going to, La La Land, when are you going to show that?
We are going to show that at 3 p.m. and 3 p.m. is also when we're going to be doing our craft.
Of what day?
La La Land is Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, okay.
And this Saturday is the craft
Okay.
at 3 p.m. And La La Land is in the community room. We host, we try and host all of our movies in the community room because we have the big screen, the big sound
Right,
system.
right.
The crafts are held upstairs in the Carmichael room.
I know where that is.
It's
Yes.
a little hard to get to. I promise if you can't find it, staff are more than willing to help you find it.
And there is an elevator.
There is an
There
elevator.
so
There
you
is
don't
an
have to go up-
elevator.
You don't have to go up a bunch of steps, I know, because I've done both. I've done steps and I've done the elevator, so.
But yeah, I'd love to have you there. And for this particular craft, we do ask that you bring a bowl that you want your display bowl to be the size of, a plastic bowl.
Oh,
I have some things that we can use, but you will probably be happier with the craft if you bring a bowl that is going to be the size that you will be happy with, because I unfortunately do not have a plethora of plastic bowls.
I can understand that. So now we need a bowl what are we going to do with the bowl?
So we're going to Mod Podge leaves onto it to
Okay.
create a leaf display bowl.
Okay.
And I've actually made one already. It's very beautiful.
Oh, I wish you
Um,
brought it with you.
I
I
should
know,
have.
I know. Oh.
I should have.
Visuals
but
are so good, yes.
it is a display bowl, and so you can't put a lot of really heavy things in it. But it like Halloween candy you have left over, nuts for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, it would be
Neat.
perfect.
That's what I was
for
going to
that.
say.
Pine
Something that would
cones?
be great for your
Yeah.
Thanksgiving
For a
table.
drum
Yes.
table, for a mantelpiece over the fireplace, it would be perfect for
How
things
neat,
like that.
how neat. And I am so sorry we have run out. We do this every time though, because you all have so much. You have a plethora of things to share with our audience. And it just, we run out of time. 15 minutes goes just like that. So thank you all so much for being with me. I know that next month you'll have a lot that's going on for Christmas. And a lot of things, and I'm sure you'll be doing a couple of Christmas movies and things like that. Remind me one more time, La La Land is going to be Tuesday,
Next
The
Tuesday,
12th.
the 12th
at 3.
3.
At 3 p.m.
Okay,
We have
because that's a
signs
wonderful
up.
movie. I'm
We
just
have
thinking.
signs up at the library, so if you need
Okay.
a refresher, you can check the posters or you can check the website.
Or you can go online. That's right. Very good. Thank you all so much for being on with me today. I really do appreciate it. Always great to see Andrew, and nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you,
Folks, don't go away. I'll be right back with upcoming events that are going to be happening this week and maybe next week. So don't go away. Remember, watch our commercials, support our sponsors because they pay our bills. And I'll be right back.